Hey folks, how's it going? It's kind of bad that Cygames decided to make away with the intro for the newly released characters, but I guess we'll just have to live with this from now on. On the bright side, Christmas is coming early with a holiday Magisa, Meteon and Iril, a new wind summon, so let's go check them out. First in line, we've got Holiday Meteon, a new wind character coming in with a gun and melee weapon specialties. I believe this is the first SSR gun character that we get other than Christina. His Ogi deals massive damage to a foe and raises combat level by 1 up to a maximum of 2. We'll see later what these stacks are. Wall Breacher is a standard single target nuke, also inflicting defense, wind defense and debuff resistance debuffs. And these ones are the standard 180-second ones. His second skill, Mirage Dive, gives him an indefinite duration one-time dodge, as well as allowing him to attack one time without using a turn. The cooldown is 8 turns and probably goes down to 7. Nitro Boost switches to Nitro mode, consuming 2 combat levels. This one grants him guaranteed triple attacks as well as a buff to critical rate, skill damage, as well as immunity to debuffs. It cannot be removed and lasts 5 turns. I'm going to need the wiki to check the cooldown on this though, but it looks pretty sweet so far. Passive-wise, more than mere speed grants him a sharp boost to 1 full attack damage, boost to charge attack specs and dodge rate, a 10% boost to charge bar when he attacks, as well as bonus wind damage to all foes on each turn. Nitro Limiter, on the other hand, doesn't allow him to deal multi-attacks. He's going to need to Ogi twice and unlock the Nitro Boost mode in order to make away with this. But considering he's only dealing single attacks, even with the 10% charge bar boost, he's probably going to need some outside help in the form of charge bar gain in order to actually get there. Nitro Boost also seems to have a 10 turn cooldown, which is fairly long. So other than having to charge it up, it's also going to have a fairly long cooldown, and for those 5 turns, his damage might actually suffer quite a bit. His first passive says his damage is amplified by 50% on a Seraphic modifier, but I'm afraid this one doesn't take into account the damage cap, and he has no damage cap up nodes, so he's still only going to be dealing single attacks. The 630k nuke might actually come in handy into trying to compensate for his lack of damage, but again, even if this one actually goes up to 800k, I'm afraid his damage when he's not in Nitro Boost mode is going to suffer quite a bit. I'm honestly not too stoked about him. He looks alright, but I'm afraid he's not really going to shine. But speaking of shining, let's move on to Magisa. She switches elements going from fire to earth and also gaining a nice melee weapon specialty in the process. Her Ogi inflicts massive earth damage to a foe and also activates a Holy Night Ray, her second skill. Her first skill, Serenade, grants a Whistling Crest to all Earth allies, as well as a mirror image effect for 1 hit and then armored and refresh buffs. These last 2 lasting for 3 turns each. Her second skill, a Holy Night Ray, inflicts earth damage to a foe as well as a dispel and granting Magisa another Whistling Crest. Being activated every time she Ogis, this one is going to allow her to gain a ton of crests in a very short time. Lastly, we've got Land Eruption, inflicting earth damage to all foes as well as granting all allies a 20% boost to their charge bars. When used from the 10th turn onward, this one is going to consume all Wasteland crests on Magisa for an increased hit count and effect, based on the number of crests consumed of course. Passive-wise, Earth and Magics grants a buff to Magisa every time she uses Land Eruption. The buff effect is based on the amount of Wasteland crests Magisa currently has and consists in a boost to attack and defense, multi-attacks, fighting alongside Morex, Earth Echo as well as a buff to charge attack specs. This one sounds really crazy, especially if you take in consideration that Earth has access to a Dark Opus Harp, we just got Rising Force class, and Cagliostro exists. Magisa is going to be able to stack up her 5 Wasteland crests in like 1 Ogi cycle, probably. And if that wasn't enough, the Jolliest Witch grants a boost to all Earth allies' charge attack specs based on the number of Wasteland crests they have. This effect also works from the backline. Now, a quick check from the wiki. Land Eruption comes in on a 9 turn cooldown, and it's probably alright. But here's the real kicker. Earth and Magic grants a 30% boost to attack on any of the Wasteland Crest levels. The same goes for the defense buff. From level 2 onwards she gains guaranteed double attack, but they don't have the triple attack rate listed. From 3 stack onwards she begins fighting with Morex. This is an extra hit of skill damage each turn the buff is up. From 4 stacks onwards she gets 50% Earth Echo, and at full stacks she gains 100% charge attack damage up and 50% charge attack damage cap up. This thing is insane. One little detail I had to go back and check up on is the consumption of the Wasteland Crests, because in order to get these buffs you only need to have 5, you don't actually need to wait for turn 10, nor you need to consume the Wasteland Crests. That is only for the extra damage on Land Eruption. So yeah, things keep getting crazier and crazier. But at least they didn't go all out with her second passive. The Jolliest Witch only grants 15% charge attack damage up and a 5% charge attack damage cap up at maximum stacks. I was kind of worried these numbers would have been way higher. So yeah, not only Christmas Magisa looks great, she also seems to be fairly powerful. Both of them are going to be in the draw pool at least until December 25th, and hopefully we're going to get some free draws before that. And now for the final question, should you spark today? Personally, I'm kind of tempted, Magisa honestly looks great, but today's target wouldn't really be her. If I didn't have her, today I would spark for Conbira, considering this is going to be the last banner she's on, and she's going to be gone for the whole 2020 and come back in 2021. And while I cannot guarantee you that she's going to stay meta relevant for the whole next year, she's still a pretty solid character. On the other hand though, on the 7th we're going to have the Gachapin and Muko collaboration, and on the 14th and 15th there's going to be the Granblue Fest. We don't know yet what the plans are for the Christmas and New Year's celebrations, so if you can actually wait, if you think you can make without Conbira, I would strongly suggest you keep saving on your rolls at least until New Year's, or at least until new news. Because just like summer, we might get a banner in which all the Christmas characters become available spark targets. Alright then, that's going to be it for me for the moment. Let me know if Magisa actually managed to break your will to spark. I'll see you guys again soon. Ciao!